was fast asleep when her stepmother entered the room with a rusty pair of scissors. Outside, the moon shone on the compound walls. Inside, the only sound was Nnena's calm breathing. One by one, her long black hair fell to the floor. Soon, her head looked rough and scattered, full of empty patches. Her stepmother, Madame Ifeoma, smiled to herself. If I cannot break her spirit, I will destroy her beauty. Nnena was loved in the whole village of Obodo Echi. It was not only because she was beautiful, though even elders said the ancestors took their time to make her, but also because of her good heart. She helped the blind potter cross the road, carried loads for the widow, and stopped children when they fought. She didn't talk much, but whenever she smiled, the whole village noticed. Her mother died when she was only 8. 1 year later, her father, a quiet palm wine tapper, married again. His new wife, Madame Ifeoma, came with her daughter, Kachi. At first, Ifeoma behaved kindly, plaiting Nnena's hair and calling her my dear. But deep inside, she was jealous. She saw how everyone admired Nnena, while no matter what jewelry she wore, nobody looked at her or her daughter the same way. Soon, her sweetness changed to wickedness. Nnena's scarf, her slippers, even her late mother's necklace started disappearing. Whenever she asked, Ifeoma would just shrug and say, maybe if you kept your things well, you won't lose them. Then one day, a royal messenger came to the market square. He beat the gong and shouted, "By order of Prince Chidi of Ngodo, there will be a grand festival. From there, the prince will choose his bride. Every young woman must attend." The whole village was on fire with excitement. Mothers brought out wrappers, perfumes, and beads. Girls danced and dreamt of becoming queen. Even Kachi's eyes shone with hope. But it was Nnena, quiet Nnena, who that evening allowed herself to dream. She imagined the palace, the lights, the music, the roasted plantain in the air. For once, she imagined herself not as a shadow, but as a girl who deserved to be seen. That night, she brought out a small piece of golden cloth she had saved for years. Madame Ifeoma saw her and immediately planned wickedness. The day before the festival, Madame Ifeoma gave Nnena a long list of work. Wash every wrapper twice, scrub the goat pen till it smells sweet, fetch water from the far stream, not the near one, cook for the whole house, and not a single grain must burn. From morning till evening, Nnena worked. Her hands pained her, her back ached, but she did not stop until she finished everything. She felt proud inside. She believed she would go to the festival. But that night, Madame Ifeoma crept into her room with scissors. By morning, Nnena's beautiful hair was gone, cut in ugly patches. When Nnena saw herself in the mirror, her heart broke. Madame Ifeoma laughed from the doorway. "Go on then to the festival. Let us see if the prince will choose a girl who looks like a plucked chicken." Nnena did not cry out. She quietly tied her late mother's scarf around her head, each knot like a prayer. Then she left the compound barefoot. She walked until she reached the small hut of Mama Ngozi, the old healer. Some people said Mama Ngozi could speak to trees. Others said she once healed a dead child. Everyone agreed her words carried power. When Nnena arrived, Mama Ngozi was already waiting. She looked not at Nnena's scarf, but at her hat. When the lioness enters the forest, the trees do not ask about her mane. They bow because they feel her power. She oiled Nnena's head and plaited the short hair into strong cornrows. She decorated them with small wooden beads that had been passed down by strong women before her. When she gave Nnena a mirror, the girl no longer saw shame, she saw strength. That night, the palace was bright with music and laughter. Girls wore gowns of silk, their hair piled high with gold. But when Nnena walked in, the hall went silent. She wore no shoes, no jewelry, only a simple grey dress she sewed herself, and her beaded cornrows shining under the light. Some people whispered, "Who is she? She looks like a boy. She must be lost." Others laughed. But Nnena walked proudly as if the ground was made for her steps. Prince Chidi, tired from seeing many girls, suddenly noticed her. She had no gold or jewels, but she walked like someone who had faced fire and survived. One jealous maiden shouted, "Maybe she cut her hair to get attention." The room laughed, but then the prince's voice cut through. "I disagree." The hall fell silent. She is the most beautiful woman here, not because of her dress or hair, but because she came anyway. Gasps filled the room. Nnena stood firm, meeting his eyes with courage. The prince stretched out his hand. "May I have this dance?" Nnena smiled for the first time that night. She placed her hand in his, and they danced. Weeks later, the drums rolled again across the land. The royal messenger announced, "By command of Prince Chidi, the future queen shall be Nnena of Obodo Echi." The whole kingdom rejoiced. The girl they once mocked had become their queen. Madam Ifeoma disappeared, swallowed by her bitterness. Nobody asked where she went. And Nnena, she became more than a queen. She became a lesson to every woman. They can cut your hair, they can mock your looks, but they cannot remove the crown that God has already placed on your head.